I'm standing in court listening to my marriage get pronounced dead when I remember the sound of ice clinking in a glass. That's where it began. Not with a scream, not with a slap, with a careful stir, a smile too practiced to be love. He'd made the cocktail himself. Anniversary ritual, he said. His hands were steady. Too steady. I took it to the balcony for the photo, the city lights, the caption about forever, and that's when I heard him inside. Voice low, almost playful. Are you sure it's untraceable? The word hung there, clean, clinical. I stepped back inside quietly and swapped the glasses. That's the version people whisper about. The dramatic one. The truth is slower, colder, more precise. We met 12 years earlier in a kitchen not unlike ours, arguing over whether salt belonged in caramel. He liked to be right. I liked that he listened when he wasn't. He learned my coffee order. I learned his silences. We built a life that looked solid from the outside. Promotions, dinner parties, anniversary posts that got the right number of likes. Trust is a muscle. You don't notice it tearing until it's already shredded. The changes were small at first. He stopped drinking what I poured, started locking his phone, corrected me in public with a smile that said I was the problem. I told myself it was stress, men and their work. I adjusted. I always adjusted. Then came the gaps, unaccounted hours, receipts that didn't add up, a name that appeared twice in his calendar and never again. When I asked, he kissed my forehead like I was a child. The undeniable moment arrived quietly. A voice memo he forgot to delete. His voice. Another woman's laughter. And the phrase that rewired everything in me. After the anniversary. I didn't cry. I cataloged. People think betrayal makes you reckless. It didn't. It made me exact. I stopped confronting and started observing. I learned his patterns the way a hunter learns wind. I copied files. I backed up accounts. I scheduled consultations under fake names. I asked questions that sounded casual and remembered the answers he thought were harmless. By the time our anniversary arrived, I knew about the affair, the debt. The policy he'd taken out 6 months earlier with my name spelled wrong. The cocktail was his final touch, a gesture, a shortcut. When I overheard him ask if it was untraceable, I understood something important about him. He didn't want me gone in anger. He wanted me gone neatly. So I swapped the glasses, not to harm him, but to buy time. Mine. He drank, I sipped. We toasted. He watched my face too closely. I smiled at the wrong moments on purpose. Let his certainty bloom. What he didn't know was that the glass he held had been switched. Again, earlier, days earlier. I'd replaced the liquor with a harmless substitute, same color, same burn. The only thing potent in that room was his arrogance. While he waited for me to fade, I let him talk. Confident men talk, especially when they think they've already won. My phone was recording in my pocket. His admission wasn't cinematic. It was worse, practical, names, dates, the kind of details lawyers dream about. The next morning, I left for work like always. By noon, his accounts were frozen. By evening, his employer had questions. By the end of the week, the woman he'd trusted with his secrets had cut ties to save herself. I never accused him, I filed. The confrontation came later, in our living room, with boxes half-packed and his world shrinking by the minute. He asked how I'd known. I told him the truth. You taught me to pay attention. His face did something then, not rage, not fear, recognition. He saw the version of me he'd underestimated. The quiet one. The patient one. I loved you, he said, like it was a defense. I know, I replied. You just loved yourself more. Now, standing here listening to the judge, I feel something people mistake for satisfaction. It isn't that. It's relief. The kind that comes from surviving a plan you were never supposed to know about. I didn't ruin him. I let him finish the work he started. The glass I swapped that night sits in a box. Somewhere. Empty. Ordinary. Proof that sometimes revenge isn't about poison or fire. Sometimes it's about staying calm long enough to watch the truth do the damage for you.